In 1984, the movie This Is Spinal Tap came out. It was one of the first big rock documentaries, or rockumentaries, if you will, to grace the big screen. And admittedly, I didn't see it until it was on home release. And while it was sitting there on the shelf to rent, took it home, and going through it, I didn't know if what we were seeing was real or not.
This is Spinal Tap.
It's such a fine line between stupid and clever.
And we sat there in the beginning of the movie thinking, like, that guy kind of looks like Lenny from Lenny and Laverne and Shirley or Happy Days. And it was a very, very odd experience. And then carried forward through years, even after realizing, you know, the joke is on the viewer and the joke is on everyone. Being in the music scene for years, there were a lot of folks that seemingly were like upset by it because it seemed so real and hit so close to home with just day-to-day adventures of being in a rock and roll band. This Is Spinal Tap became one of my favorite movies of all time, and certainly one of the funniest movies of all time. And the popularity only grew with me, especially through the early 90s when they released their second official record, Break Like the Wind. And it seemed like their popularity was through the roof. They went on tour. They played at the Freddie Mercury, I think it was the Freddie Mercury tribute concert, and kind of poked fun at Metallica for having the black record at that time. And I feel like the album could be none more black. And they were just all over the place, like music videos, MTV, etc. And I believe like an even NBC special that was out. And they came to town when I lived in New York and played the Beacon Theater in June of 1992. And at the time, I was able to go to the show and had front row tickets for Spinal Tap. Amazing. Still have probably my favorite music souvenirs of all time at this point, with Nigel and David's guitar picks. I'm missing one somewhere. But just an absolute ridiculous time seeing your favorite movie or one of your favorite movies come to life in the theaters. And then since that time, they've had appearances on The Simpsons, and they've been here and there. And I think they, through 2016, 2017 time period, I believe Harry Shearer and folks sued the company that put out Spinal Tap because they had only made $173 in earnings from the band and from and from their likenesses and everything like that. And it was a long drawn out lawsuit for a couple of years, and then eventually settling with I think Sony Music altogether, or UMG, or in any event, my storytelling is not great here. But eventually getting the rights back for their songs, then going on to noodle around in the Spinal Tap form again. And I want to say it was 3 years ago that Rob Reiner floated out there that there was a script for the return of Spinal Tap. And I'm not sure who asked for this 40 some odd years later, but I'm all for it. They just released the first movie in the theaters again about a month or so ago for the 40th anniversary, cleaned up print and everything, looked great, sounded great. But Spinal Tap is back. Tonight, we're going over to an IMAX preview of the movie where they have a Q&A and everything on the screen, simulcast, that we'll be able to watch also. And I am tentatively looking forward to this. I just can't imagine 40 years later, and how many of the same jokes get told over those 40 years, how good the movie's going to be. But I'm hoping for the best. Let's go smell the glove. All right, so we've made it to the dance. Are you ready to smell the glove? There we go. Spinal Tap II in IMAX. Wait a minute, where is everybody? If I've said it once, I've said it 1,000 times. It's supposed to be Spinal Tap, then Puppet Show. Normally we take a photo in front of the movie poster every time. They don't have a poster up for Spinal Tap. You got Predator, Five Nights 2, Mortal Kombat 2. No, Spinal Tap 2.
I think has
Instead of regular movie trailers, we have a trailer for Spinal Tap 2.
Pink torpedo.
It's not a very full theater. But away we go. The movie's over. It's Q&A time. Well, while we were in the movie theater, they hung the Spinal Tap poster up here, so that's a positive. Also a positive was the movie overall. I went in hoping against hope that it wouldn't suck. I can tell you it does not suck. It is hilarious. It is a worthy sequel to Spinal Tap.
It is, very much.
It is not Spinal Tap itself. Nothing's ever going to top the original. But this holds its own and more. We're back in the car to finish our little review so we don't embarrass ourselves in front of the fives of people that were coming out of the movie theater.
Fives.
Yeah, it was a very sparse crowd
Yeah.
that went to see the movie. As I would have thought. Like, I mean, they're doing a sequel to a comedy that wasn't a big box office hit, but became a cult classic 40 years ago.
Yeah, I was going to say kind of a long time ago.
So I can't imagine there's going to be a lot of movie reviews online for this. So
No.
we just tell you, I would probably go to see this before it leaves the theater. It was excellent in IMAX. The sound and the picture quality were excellent.
Yeah.
The story itself is what I was worried about. And like, how do you bring this stuff back? And it is a really well put together story, and it just kind of fills in the gaps. Obviously, like from the trailer, they kind of announced like they need to do one more concert to honor a contract that existed for the last 40 years. My concern also was that they were going to kind of erase or scrub past the fact that the band did release Break Like the Wind and Majesty of Rock and all that stuff with the record that came out in like 91, 92 time period. But more so, they embrace it in the movie and feature some of that music from the record, and also include some of the footage from that tour and that experience. So that was a welcome relief because they didn't just try to jump past everything. The story, it lags at times.
Yeah.
So that not every joke lands, and it is full of jokes. There's plenty of times that I laughed out loud.
It's just one long joke going on all the whole time.
Yeah, lots of fun cameos from the past, as well as cameos that were probably leaked because of the songs that were released prior to the movie coming out. So, you get a couple of key like legendary rock stars in there, and you get a bunch of familiar faces from the past as well.
And it's not just like, hi, bye. They're actually in the movie,
Yeah. The story has a lot of heart at the end of it all, and it kind of pulls everything together again too, that same type of feeling that you had when Nigel returned to the band at the end of the first movie. You kind of have that same kind of good feeling again. And, quite honestly, I enjoyed the movie a lot. I don't know if I'll watch it as much as I watch Spinal Tap, because I watch the original on a regular basis. But like I said, this was a worthy second movie or follow-up. Unlike other movies that have tried, especially comedies, when you get like Caddyshack 2 and things like that, where things just fall apart. And I only reference that because that's another one of my favorite comedy movies. But this holds, and I thought it was great. I would probably say, on a scale of 4 to, on a scale of 5, I'd give this at least a 4 to a 4.25 out of 5.
That's about right.
That's the Mary scale. So on that note, we're getting out of here. Thanks a lot for coming along. Thank you very much for all of your likes, comments, and subscriptions. Treat others the way you want to be treated. Have a great night. See you guys.